Hello and welcome to ETV Bharat. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to visit Argentina next month for G20 summit. To talk about the visit and bilateral relations between India and Argentina, I am joined by Ambassador of Argentina to India, Mr. Daniel Chuburu. How is Argentina gearing up for the summit? What are the preparations, sir?
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. Let me start by saying that the country is ready. So we are now waiting for the prime ministers and presidents to arrive, and we are sure and we hope that we can have a very good summit by the end of November, having the leaders of the G20 in our country. And also, we expect that at the same time we can have Prime Minister Modi. Well, his presence will, of course, give a lot of importance to the summit. And I believe that the role of India, it's a very important one, not only due to the size of India and the importance that it has in the international scene, but also as a developing country. I think that we have to unify forces so in order to have a good representation of developing countries at the level of the G20. Well, I think that the initiative of Make India, it's an interesting one, and it's due to, of course, the economic situation in India, and it's an aim of the government to improve the situation in the country, not only in terms of job creation, but also in terms of reducing imports and having some of them being produced here in the country. So it's a very interesting initiative. The thing is how we can manage to work together with India and develop a strategy so as to work together, so as we can be partners in the process of Make India and be partners in the whole area of trade between the two countries. Well, you know, part of this big partnership that we want to have with India includes both Indian companies working in Argentina and Argentinian firms working in India. One of the latest developments that we have is this pharmaceutical company that have developed this cow sadness vaccine, which sounds very funny, but in fact it's something that affects very much the cows. And in the case of India, you have one of the largest herd in the world of cows, so of livestock. So it's very important to work together in this regard. This Argentine company has been working for the production first in Argentina of vaccines. Then there is an agreement that it's being developed between the Institute of Agricultural Technology of Argentina and local partners, so as to have the possibility, after these imports of vaccines, bring the production of vaccines to India. So that will be a little bit a very clever way of being partners in this process of making India also. Well, let me tell you that we have a lot of shale gas and oil, particularly in a place called Vaca Muerta in the south of Argentina, that it's being developed nowadays. And in this regard, ONGC Videsh, it's working with our national company, YPF, in the establishment of projects in which they can work together. So this is going fine, and this goes to one of this also important aims and objectives of this government, which is energy security. So we think that also there we can work in very many fields of energy, but particularly in this regard of shale oil and gas. There are also now being some new explorations in Argentina that are showing us that there might be possibilities also in exploring offshore. So that will be also another area in which we can work together. That's another area in which we can work together. In fact, we have this nuclear agreement. Of course, it's for the Pacific uses of nuclear energy, and we have already been working with not only the authorities in India, but we have one of our companies, which is called Envoy, that it's setting a plant in Mumbai for the production of radioisotopes for for medicine purposes. But this is not the only kind of plants that we are producing. All these plants not only produce radioisotopes, but they can only be for investigation and for development of in areas of health. But also we have our nuclear agency that it's working in a very small energy production out of nuclear energy, which is called CAREM, and this is a very special new development that we have in Argentina, and this is a kind of a small plant that it's very, we think it might be very helpful to develop in India, because these are not mass production energy, but they help in small cities with small productions, and that can be incorporated in the grid, and that can help because nuclear energy, it's clean energy, and it helps for environmental uses. So we think that there we have another possibility of working together.
On that very note, let me thank you, Ambassador, for talking to ETV Bharat. It was really an honor and pleasure talking to you. So this was Argentinian Ambassador to India, Mr. Daniel Chuburu, highlighting the relations between Argentina and India, and also subtly sending a message that we need to turn this bilateral dialogue into strategic partnership. And there are, of course, areas present in front of us which we can work on. Sagar Gupta for ETV Bharat, New Delhi.